Well done, you made it to Friday. I know lots of people are creaking under the pressure. We've got that blend that's happening at the moment where some people are off on holiday, sunning themselves, enjoying themselves. Some people are trying to get away on holiday, so then they're stressed out for all the things they've got to do before they go on holiday. And then you've got the people at home who are doing the work whilst the other people are on holiday, so they're stressed out with work because there's extra pressure, because there's less resource. And it's really funny, isn't it, how like a holiday can cause chaos in so many ways for the people at your work who aren't obviously being supported as much, for the people trying to go away. And that only chill point is for those people who are actually on holiday for that moment until they get back to work and then it all blows up again. Maybe we shouldn't have holidays. Don't know. Alrighty. So I'm going to talk to you tonight about weekend tips for belly fat. I'm just going to pull my hair out because I can feel it creeping out. Yeah, it's that time. It's what going 9 o'clock, so my hair is just doing what it wants. Does it most of the day anyway, but hey ho. But I want to talk to you about weekend tips for belly fat because your belly fat loves the weekend. It's like bring me the food, bring me the fat, and it's really built around habits that you have that compound the issue where you're trying to be all good during the week and then you get to the Friday, you're tired, you're hungry, you just want ease, you've got social events happening. And it's not about not having social events, but what tends to happen is you kind of blow caution to the wind and you go all in because it's a weekend. And one trait that I've seen happening, and it's something that was ingrained in me, is that if you go out for a meal, then you should have a lighter dinner. So if you've been out for lunch, oh, you've been out for lunch at the restaurant, you had a big lunch, so have a lighter dinner. Or actually, I'm going out to for lunch, so I'm going to skip breakfast, or I'm going out for dinner, so I'll not have lunch, I'll just have breakfast, and then dinner I'll make up for that. So basically, skipping the meals, and then what happens is you end up overeating and binge eating because you're basically just starving your body because you're telling yourself you're going to eat more. Yes, the food at a restaurant might have more calories, it'll be saltier for sure. But if you feel like, oh, it's because I'll end up eating more, yeah, you will because you've skipped meals. So you'll end up overindulging and eating more, not just at that meal at the restaurant per se, but also the next day because you're hungry and you've not fed yourself properly. So there's that knock on. It's not just that day, but it's what happens the day after. So ultimately, you end up skipping meals. As a result, you end up overeating. So the key tip here is plan your meals, have them as normal. Have your breakfast as normal. If you're out for lunch, that's your lunch out, then have your dinner as normal. And the same, so if you're out for breakfast, have your lunch as normal, then have dinner as normal. So don't see going out for a meal as a reason that you need to skip a meal either side of it. Not at all. Instead, actually have your meals as normal. Why punish your body because you're going out for a meal? And then, of course, make sure you drink water. You know, I'm talking about the bloat in the belly, extra tip, bloat in the belly because of the salty restaurant food. So make sure you're drinking water to counteract the salt effects. Number two is around excess alcohol. Yes, I know I say don't have a drink. It's the weekend. It's entirely your choice. But what I'd say is just think about how you want to feel the next day and the next day after. You can still go out and have a drink. You don't kind of have to get a feel. This is very testing for many people. I know for many clients, they don't want to be the party people, they don't want to be seen the fussy one, the one that's not fun anymore because they're not drinking as much. But what you'll find is that many of your friends feel the same way. That they're like, oh, I'm going to go out and we're going to end up having more wine, I'm going to lose my Sunday, I'm going to feel rubbish. It's amazing how many other women don't actually want to drink to excess or to the levels that you normally do within your group of friends. And actually, you can be the one to set that trend and reset it, and other people will come and join you, and you'll find out your friends actually feel the same way. So, yes, go out, have a glass of wine. Try not to order a bottle unless it's a big group because otherwise you're going to end up having more of it. So just think about, yes, I fancy a taste of wine, I fancy a drink, then have a glass and then have a water afterwards. And then maybe you order a cocktail and just see where you are in terms of your energy, what it feels like. So rather than it being an assumption it's a Friday, it's a Saturday, it's a weekend, we're going to go out and go for it, then go actually, how do I want to feel the next day and the day after? Do I still want to have my energy tomorrow? So just think about really alcohol, what it takes from you, what it gives you, and just finding a medium ground there. Like, so you don't have to miss out on social events. But many women, and I know because I've got clients who pretend they're drinking when they're not, don't actually want to go out and have excessive alcohol anymore at the weekends. It just doesn't serve them in terms of their energy. You know, it's highly calorific and it disrupts your sleep, which all compounds the belly fat, because obviously highly calorific, alcohol calories, and then you're not sleeping, disturbed sleep, and then the next day you're going to crave foods that aren't the healthiest either. You're going to crave comfort the next day because you're feeling rough. Okay, so that was number 2. So number 1 was not skipping meals, and then as a result you end up overeating because you're skipping meals because you're going out for a restaurant meal. And the other one is excess alcohol. Limit your intake based on how you want to feel, what works for you, what your goals are around losing your belly fat. Number 3, that thing about being less active at the weekend. Less active because you maybe have a lie-in. You might be like, it's a weekend, I just want to chill out, not do much, maybe just kind of go around the house, do what I want. And I'm not saying that you have to go to the gym, but it might be that's the only opportunity for you to go and do a workout. So factor that in. Or maybe you want to go out for a nice walk, and even gardening counts as exercise. And lots of people struggle in the gardens right now. So rather than just kind of sitting on the couch, catching up on the tennis or the soaps or the Netflix, whatever it be, just think about actually what can I do today to be a bit more active than I would do normally. Because let's face it, in the evening, if you're not going out, chances are you're sitting on the sofa at night. So try and get your movement in during the day. Okay, so that was number 3. Number 4 is neglecting your sleep. So staying up late at weekends, you'll end up giving yourself weekend jet lag. And what I mean by that is, so it's Friday night, so normally you might go to bed, I don't know, 10, half 10, but it's a Friday night, so you're like, oh, it's Friday, have a few drinks, chill out, spend time with partner, kids, whatever, and then you don't end up going to bed till later, so then you end up getting up probably a bit later than normal, bit later than workday, but then because you're going to bed that much later, midnight 1, and then you're waking up at 7, 8, and if you've had a drink, then ultimately you're neglecting your sleep. So try and get your 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. Avoid the late nights, because then you end up going to bed later, waking up a bit earlier, go to bed later, sleeping in, and before you know it, you've given yourself jet lag for Monday. And then come Sunday night, guess what? Can't get sleep. Yeah, so think about your sleep routine in terms of your energy and the food choices you make, because when you're tired, you make less positive food choices, and then you start to look for things for energy. So it tends to be sugar, alcohol for that false energy. Okay, next up, I'm going to give you a little summary around stress eating. So stress eating, you can be, oh, but that'd be during the week. But stress eating is when we also use it at the weekends to kind of comfort ourselves. It's been a tough week. It's been a hard week. I deserve the wine. I deserve the crisps. I've worked my arse off all week. I deserve this treat, the chocolate, whatever it can be. So whilst you might not feel stressed at the weekend per se, it can overflow into your weekend because you're using it to reward yourself. So I think I've been stressed this week. It's been a really stressful week. So I'm going to reward myself with the alcohol. I'm going to reward myself with the crisps and the chocolate. So that can come in. So try and think about different ways to unwind and treat yourself, like a sports massage or a hot stone massage, and maybe even going to a sound bath and meditation, whatever it may be. Buy yourself a bunch of flowers, something that is a good way to unwind and also change the way that you treat yourself. So rather than it being something that takes you away from your goals, takes you towards your goals. All right, so let's give a little summary of weekend tips. So first up is about planning your meals. Even if you're going out, still plan your meals for the meals that you're not out and about. Stay hydrated. One, to counteract the salty food when you're out, and also any of the alcohol that you're having. And then try and get exercise in. If it's your opportunity to go to the gym, do a workout, or do a workout at home, then spend at least 30 minutes. That's all you really need, is 30 minutes to work out at home, or spend time in the garden, or get out for a walk. Do something during the day where you're not sedentary and you're not sitting, even if the weather's not that great. Just move your body, and that'll help your mind as well. And it'll also help your food choices at the weekend. And just overall be mindful about what you eat. Making sure that just because weekend, you're not eating all your calories at the weekend, having the pizza, the burger, the popcorn, the ice cream, because I've been good all week, I'm doing any good work, and then you're going to get annoyed and fed up, and you feel like my belly doesn't go down, it's so stubborn. Well, it's not going down because you keep feeding your belly. Yeah, you feed it the alcohol, you skip meals, you neglect your sleep, you're stressed, you're not moving your body, and all these things compound. It's never just one thing, they all compound. But ultimately, those are the things I say to do in terms of the weekend. Still have a life, still enjoy yourself, but those things I've mentioned will help with your belly fat. And they will help in terms of the releasing of the fat that's stored, but also help in terms of not keeping feeding it more fat. And it will help you mindfully make better choices, that you'll have more energy, you'll want to move more, you'll make better choices around food, you'll still have enjoyed your weekend, you'll go into next week feeling rested, reinvigorated, ready for the week ahead, and that's going to help you lose the belly fat. So it's all works together. It's not one thing, it all works together. All right. And then small changes can add up and make a big difference. So even if you're like, oh my God, Julie, you overwhelmed me with all that, start with one. Start with one of them. It might not be like, don't skip a meal if you're going out. It might be getting more water in. It might be actually on a Sunday we don't have a bit of lazy day around the house and don't get our PJs. Maybe we'll get out and go and do a walk for half an hour. So yeah, choose one of them and then you can build on them. All right, team. Hope that is helpful. Thanks for joining, Isla. And catch you on the replay, hashtag replay. I know it is later tonight. I've been on to Canada. I just got off from Canada. So it's been a busy, busy Friday. But I will be back and catch you guys all on Monday. Take care.